Every 18 minutes, someone is murdered in the US. But when it happens to a celebrity, the world stops. These aren't just crimes. They're open wounds in pop culture. Some were executed in broad daylight. Others vanished into the shadows. The headlines don't fade. The speculation never really ends. Names like Tupac, John Bonet, and the Black Dahlia still dominate documentaries, conspiracy forums, and late-night debates decades after their deaths. Fans want justice. The media wants answers. And the silence from investigators only makes it worse. But why? Why were these cases never solved or never accepted as solved? Stick around, because these 8 celebrity deaths aren't just tragedies. They're mysteries that never let go. 1. Tupac Shakur. It was September 7th, 1996. Las Vegas, bright lights, traffic crawling outside the MGM Grand. Tupac Shakur had just watched his friend Mike Tyson knock out Bruce Seldon in less than 2 minutes. He left the arena with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, cruising in a black BMW. That's when a white Cadillac rolled up beside them. Within seconds, 13 bullets shattered the night. 4 struck Tupac. He clung to life for 6 days before dying in a hospital bed. What followed wasn't justice, it was chaos. Rumors flew, gang retaliation, label wars, inside jobs, even whispers of FBI surveillance. In 2023, police raided the home of Dwayne Keith Davis, a man who claimed he knew who pulled the trigger. Still, no one's been convicted. Theories are endless. Answers? Still missing. And the question remains, how does one of the most public killings in music history still have no killer? 2. The notorious B.I.G. March 9th, 1997. Just 6 months after Tupac's death, another giant fell. Christopher Wallace, known to the world as Biggie Smalls, was in Los Angeles promoting his second album. That night, he left a Soul Train Music Awards after party. His SUV was stopped at a red light near the Peterson Automotive Museum. A black Chevy Impala pulled up. The shooter fired 4 shots through the door. Biggie was struck in the chest. He died just minutes later. It was too familiar, too calculated. People screamed retaliation. Some pointed to bad blood between rival labels. Others blamed a deep corruption within LAPD itself, alleging that rogue officers were involved. Lawsuits were filed. Files went missing. A civil case even named officers as suspects, but no criminal charges stuck. Biggie's lyrics still echo through generations, but the silence around his death, it's deafening. 3. Elizabeth Short. She came to Los Angeles with dreams of movie stardom. Instead, Elizabeth Short became the face of one of the most brutal unsolved murders in American history. On January 15, 1947, a woman walking her child stumbled upon what she thought was a mannequin in a vacant lot. It wasn't. It was Elizabeth nude, severed at the waist, drained of blood, and grotesquely posed. Her face had been slashed from ear to ear in a gruesome Glasgow smile. No blood at the scene suggested she had been killed elsewhere. The media swarmed. They called her the Black Dahlia, a nickname inspired by her dark clothes and a noir film of the time. False leads poured in. Over 60 people confessed. None were credible. The LAPD chased theories for decades. A jealous lover, a twisted doctor, a mob connection. Nothing stuck. And as Hollywood grew around the shadows of its own myths, Elizabeth Short's story became less a case and more a legend. A ghost story that still lingers in the city's underbelly. 4th John Benet Ramsey. Christmas night, 1996. Boulder, Colorado. A house full of lights, gifts, and celebration. But before sunrise, it turned into a crime scene. A 2.5-page ransom note was found on the staircase, demanding $118,000, the exact amount of John Benet's father's recent work bonus. The 6-year-old pageant queen was missing. Hours later, her body was discovered in the basement. She had been strangled and suffered a head injury. There were signs of a possible sexual assault, but nothing conclusive. The media circus exploded. Police mishandled the scene. Suspicion shifted first to the parents, then to her brother, then to an unknown intruder theory. Decades of finger-pointing followed. Every few years, the case would resurface. New DNA tests, new documentaries, new theories. but nothing ever stuck. In 2024, her father reignited public interest, linking her death to another unsolved assault and accusing investigators of ignoring key evidence. The ransom note, the chaotic crime scene, the botched investigation, it all reads like a badly written mystery novel. Except this was real, and we're still asking, who killed JonBenet? 5. Bob Crane. In the 1960s, Bob Crane became a household name as the star of Hogan's Heroes. He was charming, funny, and family-friendly on screen. Off-screen, a completely different man. Crane had a secret addiction to filming his sexual encounters, many without the consent of the women involved. His life was tangled in a web of hidden cameras, swinger parties, and a strange friendship with John Carpenter, a video equipment salesman who often helped him record. On June 29, 1978, Crane was found dead in his Scottsdale, Arizona apartment, his head brutally bludgeoned with what investigators believed was a camera tripod. There were no signs of forced entry. Blood was found in Carpenter's rental car, but it wasn't enough for a conviction. The trial came years later, and Carpenter was acquitted. The murder weapon was never recovered. To this day, no one knows for sure who killed him or why. All that remains is the footage, the rumors, and a career that ended in scandal and silence. 6. Sophie Toscan Duplantier, December 23, 1996. In the quiet hills of West Cork, Ireland, the body of Sophie Toscan Duplantier was found outside her holiday cottage, beaten with a concrete block, her face unrecognizable. Sophie was a respected French television producer in Ireland alone for a winter retreat. There were no witnesses, no forced entry, no clear motive. Suspicion landed on Ian Bailey, a local journalist who seemed too involved, too vocal. He was convicted in absentia by French courts, but Ireland refused to extradite him. Netflix's documentary renewed public interest. Bailey responded with lawsuits, and in 2025, the case is still unresolved, still debated across courtrooms and cafes. Sophie's killer? Still out there. Some of these cases shook the world. Others faded, resurfacing like old scars that never healed. But all of them share one thing: silence, unanswered questions, doors that won't close. Why were some of these lives taken just as they were rising? Why did justice fall short? And what does it say about the world they lived in that we still don't know? Drop your theories in the comments. Like this video if you were gripped by the stories. Share it if you think these names should never be forgotten. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because there's always more to uncover.